This is a quick demonstration of using LibreOffice Writer, which is the equivalent of Microsoft Word, but except that it's completely free and non-proprietary. So to open it up, you can go through your start menu. I've put shortcuts on my, pinned them to my start menu, or I can come down to LibreOffice and open the whole Office suite or just the Writer. As we're demonstrating the Writer, I'm just going to open the Writer. I also have it pinned to my desktop, to my taskbar. So either of those methods will open it. It'll open up on a blank document and you can type away. And then you can format it and so on. So what I'm going to do in this demonstration is I'm going to open up a document which I've already put all the text in, so you don't have to watch my lousy typing. And so I'll close this one. It'll cross up the top there to close it. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to open up one that I've prepared in advance. Now, what I've done here, I've put the text in, and it's all about using this program, but there's no formatting, so it's terrible to look at. And with a bit of formatting, it's going to be so much more professional. So the first thing I want to demonstrate are styles. Word also has styles. So if I grab that, put the cursor at the start of that first line and say, I want that to be the title. I want the second line to be the subtitle. And third line here, I will make it a heading style 1. So it doesn't mean the first heading, it just means heading style 1. Over here, saving is another heading I have. So once again, I can go back and go heading style 1. Printing is another heading. Now, instead of having to go up here and click on that, I can use the keyboard shortcut and just put my cursor where I want it and hit Control 1. And that puts heading style 2, heading style 1, right? So Control 1, or go up to the styles menu, whichever I like to do. Format the page, that's another heading I've got. Oops, hang on, let's just grab that again. Format page. Okay, so you can see it's starting to get broken up. These things here, I've planned them as bullet points. So over here, I can have bullets with just shapes in front of them, or numbers, or letters. So I'm going to just make a straight bullet point. I can alter what the bullet points look like and so on by choosing something else in the menu. I'm just going to go with the default ones for now. Come in here, these are bullet points. So here I've got, I'm talking about the open document format, and this is a subsection of that. So if I come in here and press Tab, it will make it part of that overall group. Same with this information about PDFs. Make that a subgroup. Then I've got some more bullet points I've got some more bullet points here. I've actually got a table stuck in the middle of them, so I'm just going to do those two, and then do these three. And whoops, Control Z undoes the last mistake that you made, the last thing that you did. So, oh, for goodness sake, select those, make it bullet points. Okay. So I'm just going to push this down onto the next page a bit. I just did it the simple way by pressing enter a couple of times. I can insert a page break by doing Control and enter. So let's have a look. I can get rid of those empty bullet points there. So now if I do a print preview, I've gone from that gobbledygook page to something that's starting to look very professional. And because I have used the styles, so I'm going to close the preview, because I've used styles to make this heading 1, heading 1, and so on, I can even, up the top here, insert, go to the insert menu, and insert a table of contents. And there I have a table of contents inserted in. When it's printed, it won't be grey. It's just telling you that it's a field. So if I click on insert, I'll go down to insert. If it's not going immediately and wants you to hit print, okay, so because I put a page break after this, it's making an entire page break. So I'm just going to delete the page break. Make that back to heading 1. So I've now got a table of content which I can just click on. If it's asking me to hit Control, if I hold the mouse over there and at the moment it says click to open the hyperlink, the default is a level of security to stop people accidentally clicking on links and going to places they don't want to. So you would go to Tools, Options, Security, and Options, and this is turned on by default. Control click required to open hyperlinks. I turn that off so that the hyperlinks work if I click on it. If I export it as a PDF, the hyperlinks will still work and open up the sections where I need to go. So just if you come across that problem, that's how to fix it. But yes, once again, we are getting a very polished looking document for a very fast action with a bit of formatting. Notice I've got different points on different bullets on my bullet points. I could change that so they're all the same. Let's close the preview. And let's read what this is all about. So you can use styles. I've just demonstrated styles over here. You can individually change fonts and sizes. So this is Arial. I'll change it to Bank Gothic, and I'll change the font size to 16. Right, so you've got all that control. You know, I can just make, it doesn't have to be the whole line. I can have this in a different font if I wanted. right? Bold, italic, underline, and so on. So double clicking on a word highlights it. I can come up and click on bold. You can notice that it also tells me that the shortcut is Control B. For italic, it tells me it's Control I. For underline, Control U. That is the same as Microsoft Word. So if I hit B for bold, if I do Control I, it will change that to italic. If I go back up to the menu bar and do the U for underline, I can do superscripts, which puts the text up high, subscripts, which puts it down low. I can do strike throughs. Yeah. So I can do all those sort of things very easily. Colors, I can change the font color up here. I can select one from this list, or I can get a custom color, or I can choose other lists with more colors in them. Alignment, I can align my text left as that is at the moment, center, right, justify when I've got a line forward text and I want it to say I justified this section down here. Justified makes it so that they all return at the same place. Can make things look better or worse. So we've done those things. Paragraph indentation. Oh, sorry. It's just let's just put my alignment back over here on the left so that I don't lose that there. Lists. That's what I've just done here. That's a list. As I said, they can be numbers, letters, any character you like beforehand. Paragraph indentation. Over here, I can push that paragraph further along. I can bring it back. So that's paragraph indentation up here. Line spacing. Notice how this is really tight. I'm going to select all of this. No. Okay. I'm going to drag up from the bottom just for ease. I could do Control A and select the whole document, but yeah, I'm going to select that and say I want to change the, see how tight the writing is down here? I'm going to change the line spacing. At the moment it's single spacing, which is the same as 1.15, spaces things out a little. .5 spaces them out a lot more. I find that's probably a bit too much. Or I can customize it and I can say, look, least, I'll say 1.25. Whoops. At least double, single. Look, I'll just take it back to 1.15, just for this demonstration. Right, so once again, it's getting a little bit more spaced out, a little bit easier to read. Saving is done by the icon up here for save. It also tells me on there that the shortcut is Control S. I can go File Save. And it once again tells me the shortcut is Control S. So we've done a lot of work. So I actually, in this case, I don't want to overwrite my original document, so I'm going to give it a new name. So I'm going to go File, Save As. And I'm going to change it to formatted. So just instead of unformatted, change it to formatted and save. Right. I would normally have hit save a few times before, once I'd done this much work. The easiest thing to do is, you've made some changes, just hit Control S. Hold down the Control key, press S, and it's saved. Make changes, Control S, it's saved. Get into the habit of doing that in all your Office programs, so that you don't do a lot of work and then lose it. The default format is ODT, which is it's an open document format, right? Which is used by lots of different programs. It's non-proprietary, so it's free for anyone to use, whether it's in a private or business environment. So it's open document format is used in Apache, OpenOffice Writer, LibreOffice, Collabora, Office, Google Docs, Microsoft Docs, Adobe Cloud, GNU Merrick is a spreadsheet. And here, notice that's a little hard to read. It's sort of all a bit tight. So I'm just going to go in there before where it says saves. I'm going to hit Tab. And I'm going to come over and tab in there. So I'm just spacing things out a bit so that LibreOffice Writer saves as open document format text documents, which is ODT for text. The Calc, which is the equivalent of Excel, is a spreadsheet program. Saves in ODS, which means spreadsheets. Impress, which is the same as PowerPoint, it saves in the ODF presentation format, which is ODP. These will open in Microsoft Word. You also have the option of saving in a Microsoft format, whether that's a docx, or if you're doing Calc, you can save in XLSL, XLSX, and so on. So if you share your documents with others who use Microsoft Office, you may want to save it in the docx format. Note, this can be set up in LibreOffice Options to save all files in Microsoft Office formats by default. So all your options are Tools, Options. I have a section here for Load and Save, General, and I'm telling it here, document type, to save it in 2010 to 365 docx format. Right, so I've got all these formats I can save things in, but the two most common ones are in the original open document format or in the Microsoft format, which is better for sharing with other people. When it comes to sharing, once a document is completed, you then decide, does the other person need to be able to format it or just read it and have it look the same no matter which device they open it up on? If they're just going to read it, I would save it as a PDF. After I've saved it normally as a docx or an ODT, I would save it as a PDF, convert it to a PDF, so that when you send it to people, it doesn't matter whether they've got Windows, Linux, Mac, a phone, a tablet. It will always look the same when they open it up, and you won't run into problems with one person having one application and not having another, and fonts and things like that can all be embedded in the PDF. So it looks the same no matter who's reading it and where. Printing, very straightforward. printer icon up here. It tells you that you can hit Control P. You can go File, Print, or Control P. Personally, I tend to look at a preview before printing, which lets me see what it looks like, and I can see my margins and everything else and say, yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Close the preview. I can insert pictures. Instead of pictures, let's call them images, because that's what it is in the menu. So to insert an image, I've got a picture here, like a mountain with the sun over it. That's a very common icon for images. Or I can go do all this via all these inserts via the image insert menu. Insert breaks, page breaks, images, charts, media, which is audio and video, shapes, sections, text box, hyperlinks. I've got a lot of things I can do. Headers and footers. All these things can be done via the insert menu. So look, I'm going to go insert image. I'll grab this image here and insert it there. Make it smaller. Grab the corners. Whee! Drag it to where I want it. I don't want it up there. I want it somewhere near my pictures. Let's make that smaller again. Right, I can drop it anywhere I like. I can play with the wrap features, like how it positions in amongst text and so on. I can create tables. I can give myself some space here. To insert a table, I can use the tables menu. I can use the shortcut here, which is the one I tend to do just to get started. So let's say I wanted a table that's 5 long by 4 deep. I just drag out the size that I want, knowing that I can always add more and subtract as well. But here I've got a table. I can enter in information. And between them, put numbers in. I can put titles across here. So down below here, I've done an example, 2023. This is like a membership thing, 7 women, 5 men. What I've done at the end there is a calculation. So down, as soon as I'm in a table, now this all opens up down here. It lets me add rows, add columns, left, right, up, down, delete a column. If I come over to here, I can sum. So I can say, okay, sum. Which ones do I want to sum? Let's sum those 3. And hit enter, and that's the total of those 3. It's not as sophisticated as a spreadsheet program, but it certainly gets the job done for, small jobs like this. Hit enter, and I'm going to hit sum down the bottom again, so that sum symbol. There's other things I can do other than sum, but just for my example here, I can format all these. Let's say these were all numbers. Oh, dollars. No. Gone blank. Okay, just leave it as is for now. So, over here would be the title, what it is, and so on. So like here, year, 23, 24, 25, 26, women, men, total. I can add graphs. I can add graphs where I type in the numbers, or I can use the information out of a table. So if I put the cursor at the start of the first square in a table, I can come up to insert and insert a chart. I'm going to make the chart so it's 3D. Makes it look a bit posher rather than 2D. It's plain 2D. I can do bar charts, pie charts, lines, and so on. Next, next, next. I'll put a title in there called members. Finish. Right. So I've that easily created a chart. Right. The table I had here, I can format that table and so on by selecting the table, come up to table and say, what is it, auto format styles, right? Now I've got all these options for layout. I can manually change things. Whatever it is. So it's very easy to format tables. That's graphs. Text boxes is insert text box. Just decide wherever you want to put one. This is a text box. Anyway, we get the idea. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever, okay. So text boxes are handy for text that you can move around the document, put it in basically anywhere you like, independent of line spacing and everything else. Shapes, you can insert shapes, insert shape. So I'm just going to do a basic arrow. I can click in there and rotate it anywhere I like. Can add in any sort of shape I like. Over on the right-hand side is a sidebar. If I click on the little dot there, it can be a bit hard to see, but along here I've got properties for what I've currently got selected, styles, the gallery for photos, navigator, page layout, style inspection, accessibility, find. I can use find anytime just with Control F, but the sidebar over there can be useful, like the page layout. Over here on page layout on the right-hand side, I might want the pages to be landscape instead of portrait. More often than not, but documents are going to be portrait. So I'll stick with portrait. I can change the margins. I can use some defaults like narrow, moderate, for specific sizes. I can do things with my headers and footers, enable headers and footers. So let's say enable a footer, and it's going to be the same on all pages. No, it's going to be let's say the same on all pages. Okay, so now I've got a footer. Just delete that. Down here, I can type stuff that I want to be on every page. So I'll get out of the text box tool and go, insert. Sorry, I'll just go insert footer. I want to, I can type in here. Once again, I'm still on shapes for some reason. Inside footers, I'm just going to do Control-Z to get rid of those. In there, I can put page numbers. I can do anything I like. Yeah, there's lots of things I can do. But look, it gives you an idea, an overview of the program, how it works. And yeah, if I go to print preview now, you know, I've got a lot more professional. I've got one blank space there, which I would fix and so on. But I've got a good document in not too long a time. So it's an excellent program. So LibreOffice, you just download it from libreoffice.org and install it, and it's free to use. So hope you enjoy. Have a good day.